Peace, this is Star with the Star Blooms. Um, y'all, I've been going through like the sharpening, okay? And a lot of times when it occurs, like when we're being sharpened, when we're being strengthened in our spirit, you feel like you're gonna dull out in the process, but that's never the goal, or is it the case? My realization is one, the different rate that I'm in, the different energy I'm in, being at such like a high level of peace consistently. The only thing that gets me out of like a space is when it comes to my baby. But like dealing with like all of these different things, I've been having to deal with like they say just say it. It is crazy to me how it's harder for you to use your information than it is for people to steal your information and use it. Y'all, the way that I've been having to get things like corrected, the offices that I've been having to go to try to take care of business, I was perceiving a lot of stuff as like holdups because it's almost like I didn't really get an inkling that things weren't gonna go a certain way. And even though it may feel trivial to have to go through the steps and then still need something else, there's a layer of realization that I needed to basically be in this space to one, understand how much of not a big deal it is, one, and then two, how it could always be taken care of, and it's going to be taken care of because I'm going to do what I need to do. Um, I'm sharing all this to share that a lot of times, because it's like I want to talk about certain things, but I have to be real with y'all. It's like sometimes I be wanting to try to water down my messages because I don't want them to sound so grand. But I have to be real. A lot of times y'all be sitting in the midst of and amongst skyscrapers. You know, like there be people who are living skyscrapers. You know, they are these huge, towering vessels that house and create spaces for nourishing, for, you know, flourishing for other people. And this is why the tower occurs in a lot of circumstances. The reality of it is that even though there's millions amongst millions of people who either come in and out of this space, who either benefit from this living skyscraper. All right. And if you could think of a skyscraper, y'all think of like the Eiffel Tower, but think of this as a person and their energy and how many people that they touch, how many people that they're pouring out over, how many people that they're putting their energy into. And the things that occur to this skyscraper, the things that occur to this vessel, you know, this engine, okay, this energy source, in order for it to be at the rate that it is at. A lot of the times we don't recognize the downfall be the come up, but it looks like everything is being torn apart. Spirit basically said to me yesterday, as I was like, it's like 10 o'clock at night yesterday, I just basically heard a living skyscraper. And I was like, I'm going to write this down. I don't know what it's about. And I'm processing it now as I'm thinking about what I've been going through this morning. I couldn't sleep at all. I woke up after I did my meditation. I couldn't go back to sleep, and I just been up. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go take care of my business. Set my alarm for 7:55, and I'm gonna make sure today's the day. I even wrote it down when I was writing my notes this morning. I said today is the day. Like this is the day. Everything else is about to fall into place because this is taken care of. And I didn't get any inkling or any, you know, intuitive messages that basically told me, no, don't go today. You know, things aren't going to work out. It's for a reason. It be for a reason. Your energy be for a reason. You be necessary to be in spaces for a reason. and we don't get that, then a lot of the times the skyscraper itself doesn't get the reality of how big of a vessel it is and how big of a presence that it carries until shit starts falling down. And here's why. You don't recognize how many people have been plugged up, usurping, however you say it, y'all. As I said, I haven't had no sleep. Taking energy from, siphoning from, all right, living off of, utilizing this as a source, unbeknownst to the skyscraper. It's aware that it has enough energy to go around, and because of that, it's because it's living, all right? It's abundant in how it shares, all right? The difference is what I share with versus what is stolen without asking for permission. It's a different energy to that. And Spirit says there's a spiritual ramification for that, which is why the Tower then comes in. But yet, if you look at the Tower card in tarot, the Tower card it's total destruction. Okay? It's people jumping out the window. It's like sharp rocks and stuff coming up out the ground around the building. There's people that are getting caught on these rocks and stuff. It is total destruction. It's not gonna be nice when it looks like retribution. That's why we are to keep our hands clean at a state and at a rate. When I was speaking yesterday, day before yesterday, I think, and I basically was speaking about the realization of how much we hurt ourselves in our choosing of how we respond based off of our desire to engage with experiences and mirror people in their decision making, and depending on how it affects us. I've been giving myself the opportunity to continue to merge with the pieces and parts of me, especially in my inner child. And one of the parts was a 7-year-old version of me, where I had the opportunity to heal parts of my father womb. And the reality of doing that last night, I got to a certain rate to where I was able to recognize people see and they perceive that the tears and the expression of emotions is like a declaration, like, oh, I got her because, she crying, she over here sad. Look at her, boo-hoo, this so yuck. It's a ick. I heard it's a ick. People getting online and crying like, who does that? Broad, listen, okay, first of all, because it's like people don't want us to say what we want to say, but I'm not going to ever sugarcoat nothing for y'all, because ain't nothing ever been given to me without a dose of salt and sugar. I'm going to keep it straight, no chaser. First of all, the people who are comfortable recognizing natural states, okay, of egress and flow, all right, through going through circumstances are the people who are actually going through it. The people who try to fake the funk, act like they not, is basically hindering themselves and however they're wanting to be with themselves. Do you. I'm going to do me. All right. It's two sides to every circumstance, and the reality of it is that people be feeling like they be done got up on you, and they be done put themselves in a bigger circumstance for even harder downfall. And that's what I keep on recognizing. I was wanting to take care of his situation and just keep it copacetic. Cool, kumbaya. Everything's great and great, right? I'm working on myself. I'm at peace. I don't need to bring anything against anybody. Yeah, they did it, but they gonna get theirs. And Spirit, like, the hell? You about to do this, you about to do that. This is, and yeah. So be mindful how you treat people, what you do with other people's energy. If you know that you're not supposed to be doing something, use your common sense that Source gave you and utilize it for the betterment of yourself, because everything comes back around. And sometimes it don't even be on purpose. Sometimes it be like some, oh, that's included too. Oh, so y'all gonna do that? All of this is just because I had to file this. This is all happening. It be like that. It don't even be like somebody intentionally trying to. This is part of the Tower. Some shaking done occurred to this structure that's been usurped all of these time, and then there's a reality that hits in, so it's like people need to stop gossiping, use their energy and their brain smarts to be able to help themselves get out of this circumstance, because a tower is falling, and living skyscrapers don't have to be energy sources forever to everybody. Sometimes they got to be broken down so they could be built back up for their own foundation.